reasons why cruising is the best way to travel.
It's the best, and we actually have just recently discovered cruising, but I guess we're kind of experts now, which is why y'all are watching.
Are we? In it for less than a year, but we've taken 3 cruises so far.
3 cruises. We've got another one kind of planned.
And we absolutely love it. By the way, this is Amy with TPF, Trips, Places, and Fun. And we thank you for coming along with us. So let's get right into these. Oh, and John. John's here too.
Right next to you.
And John. Okay, so let's get right into this. The first reason why cruising is such a great way to travel is that it's really cost effective.
Yeah, I mean, compared to, we love to travel, and we've traveled everywhere, and we love it, have a blast, but it really is. It's cheaper. You compare hotels and all the land-based activities. It's way more expensive most of the time.
Yeah, the cool thing about cruising is that it's pretty much all inclusive. Now you can add, definitely add your alcoholic beverages and add excursions and stuff like that. But things that are already included are food, entertainment, lodging, things like that.
The actual travel
yes,
to the various locations.
Right.
Of course, not the airfare that you have to get, to get to the ship. But once you're on the ship, you're traveling all over the place. Right.
And all of that is already included. And so we actually took a cruise. We took a cruise out of Southern California. Mm-hmm. And we took a 4-night cruise. And that actually cost us less than 2 days at Disneyland when we got back from our cruise.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you just stop and think about it, I mean, it's like elegant and exciting and fun and a big giant ship and out on the ocean. I mean, back in the day, like Titanic type time, this was like suit and tie, like only the well-to-do people are taking these cruises. Nowadays, it's for anybody, and it's not expensive, but it's quite the opposite. It's inexpensive.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, sometimes you can find cruises for $200, you know? And so it's pretty crazy how cost effective it can be.
And you have to be smart. Don't fall for the trappings, all the trappings.
Once you get on the ship, you have plenty of opportunity to spend a lot more money, but you don't have to do that. And we are actually pretty good at, making sure that once we get on the ship, we're not really accruing much other than the gratuities. We don't really spend much more than that.
I'll buy a Starbucks every now and then if there's...
And every now and then we'll do a shore excursion, through the ship. But other than that, yeah.
Super low cost. All right, what's next, Amy?
Okay, so it makes it easy and safe to visit other countries.
I think this was the coolest thing for us when we first cruised. We're like, oh my gosh, we're going to all of these different places that, to do so without a cruise ship, you're going to have to fly down to, where do we go? To the Bahamas and Nassau, and you have to fly from this island to that island.
We've gone to Mexico. We're going to be going to Europe here soon. And so these are places that we're not familiar with at all. And so to try to find lodging in those places, not knowing, if where you're staying is going to be safe and those sorts of things, that kind of takes all the question and kind of all the anxiety out of that part of it. Because you're going to be sleeping on the ship at night. They're going to be, taking you to places where it's at least relatively safe.
And you can learn about the various excursions even while you're on the ship and what is kind of sanctioned by the ship. Some excursions are, some aren't, and that's fine. If you want to do some of those, we've done some of those. But there are ways to know that it's safe. Like you said, where you're going to be coming back at night to go to sleep. Where your food's going to be. Even traveling in some other nations where you might be nervous about eating the food. You don't have to be nervous if you don't want to experiment.
If you don't want to eat off of the ship, you could always come back to the ship for your meals. So that it takes a lot of the stress out of it to know that you have those options. You know where you're going to be staying. You know what you're going to be eating. I mean, you can even buy bottled waters you're getting off the ship and have always that with you in case you're nervous about that. So it really takes, I think it makes it so much easier and kind of, for me, not having traveled internationally a whole lot, it makes it easy to feel like, okay, I can do this and it's going to be fine. And now that's not to say you don't use caution, of course, where you go. We do have a video on how I had my wallet, my ID, my C-Pass, and my cash all stolen in Mexico.
Should we put a card up right about there? We'll put a card.
So next time I will be a little bit smarter. So that's not to say you shouldn't be careful and you shouldn't be smart. But I think for the most part, being on a cruise really helps you out and makes it easier and a little bit safer. So
yeah. So Let's try number 3. Number 3 out of 8. And
Number
by the way,
3.
you have to stay to the very end of the video to get all 8 of these.
Okay. And number 3, and this is probably my favorite, is the food. The food is incredible, and you can eat as much as you want. And so, you know, this is going to be included in your cruise fare unless you do the specialty dining, but still so much to eat. These buffets you can go to practically any time of day, room service, and then you've got these fine dining, you know, opportunities that are so amazing. Food, like probably my favorite food, other than some of the restaurants at Disney World.
Oh yeah,
are on the cruise.
And
ship.
we've discovered a whole new kind of lifestyle to where now, many weeks before the cruise, we're losing weight,
and then, many weeks after,
and then many weeks after the cruise, we're losing weight.
Yeah.
And then there's a small, tiny little windows where we weigh okay, I guess, or me anyway. And you always weigh perfect.
Oh, way to score some points, babe.
I've never figured out how to like redeem points. Can I go to Best Buy and buy me a new laptop?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you actually do with points, but you hear about men all over the world earning them. So yeah,
I don't have that many though. I don't have that many.
All right. So next one is number 4.
Yeah.
And it's just being at sea.
So incredibly cool. And some of my favorite times of the cruise are when I'm just, especially at night, I don't know what it is about nighttime, but I just stand out there or on my balcony and I'm quiet and I hear the waves.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful and it's peaceful. And you know, sometimes you see, you know, in the daytime, you can see the sea life jumping every now and then. And I don't know, there's just something about being at sea that's just amazing.
The ocean is incredible. And so you can definitely get your fill of the ocean while on a cruise. And so it's great just to do it for that. Just the experience.
One of these days we need to go to do an Alaskan cruise where we actually are seeing whales and things jump out of the water.
I've heard great things about Alaskan
cruises. Hey, if you have taken an Alaskan cruise or something similar like that, like a nature centric cruise, leave some comments down below and let us know how it went. Maybe the cruise line. Would you recommend it? Yes, no. We'd love to hear.
All right. So number 5 is there is something for everyone. So whether you have children with you, whether you are maybe senior adults or middle-aged or whatever age maybe, or even kind of like the younger maybe group that's kind of into more party type stuff, there's going to be something for everybody.
Or you're like the super young, cool, hip crowd like us.
I wouldn't call us middle-aged yet, would you? Or would you? Well, yeah. I guess.
Why do you look at me when you say that?
I look at John because he's 50 now, so I feel like I guess that is middle-aged, or maybe more, maybe over the hill. I don't know.
What?
So anyway, I strayed a little.
I feel healthy and strong.
You are, but there is something for everybody, no matter what age group you're in. So we actually took our children with us on our last cruise, and they had a ball. They had a great time.
Had so much fun.
And so, you know, of course, they can hang out at the pool. There's usually entertainment for everybody.
Climbing walls, trampolines.
Yeah.
They have kids, not childcare,
a kids program. Yeah, a program for the kids. And then,
mini
of
golf.
course, there's the entertainment. There's some that's, you know, geared more towards children. There's some that's, you know, for everybody, family friendly, and then, you know,
some that's not.
Some that's not. But there is something for everybody. So it's a great way to cruise. If you have 3 generations going with you, you know, everybody would be happy.
So there's even solo cruisers. There's group cruises where it's based on a theme, or you're going with a specific group, you know, surrounding a topic. All sorts of different options out there. Some people are mostly focused on the food and the more elegant side of things. Other people, it's more about the beach or whatever. And so, yeah, something for everyone for sure.
Yes, and this kind of leads us right into our next point, which is number 6, and it's that there's many options. So there's a lot of different kinds of cruise ships.
Right.
You definitely have the more party cruise ships. You have the more family-oriented cruise ships like Disney or something like that.
So the previous point was kind of what you can do once on the cruise.
Right.
This point is about the fact that there are many different kinds of cruises, big ships, small ships,
even river cruises, you know, that sort of thing. And so, you know, there are cruises that are going to be more formal. There's cruises that are going to be more informal.
Some are adult only cruises,
right? Some are definitely going to be centered more around the kids. And so whatever your desire might be, there is probably a cruise out there for you.
And it actually makes it so much fun because, you start thinking about your next cruise and you're like, what kind of cruise do we want to take? So we've been looking at the European cruise options out there, and we could go to the Greece, Italy kind of side of things, or we can go up to the help me.
Well,
the Iceland and
Netherlands and Scotland and Ireland,
UK, France.
Yeah. So all those sorts of things. So yeah, we are super excited planning that, but that's just an example of, the different types of things you can do and the different types of cruises that are out there. So, you could try one if that wasn't your thing.
And different cruise lines also, and so you've got Royal Caribbean and Carnival and
Princess and Viking and all sorts of stuff. So lots and lots of options.
I think in cruise, the next cruise I want to take.
What's that?
I heard that Bill Gates just bought the first hydrogen powered super yacht for over half a $500 million.
Is he doing public cruises on that?
Is that right? No, more than that. What are the numbers? Maybe that's about $500 million. So,
and he's taking us, or?
Well, I thought I'd get in touch.
Okay. So Bill Gates, if you're watching this video.
Hey, Bill Gates, if you're watching this video, comment down below. And
tell us,
send me your numbers.
On your cruise. We'll do a video.
We'll do a video. You'll get exposure on TPF. I mean, we're growing by leaps and bounds. Well, I don't know if leaps and bounds.
Maybe. Bill Gates doesn't need ours.
He might not need it.
Oh, well.
I mean, we've been doing this channel, for a year and a half almost?
Yeah.
And we're not big enough. I'm not satisfied.
So subscribe.
People tell us all the time we should have more subscribers than we do, but that's not our fault. It's your all fault for not subscribing.
So turn that red subscribe button to gray.
You like saying that, don't you?
I heard it one time by another YouTuber.
So subscribe and
ding
the bell.
So number 7 is there are so many unique places to visit. Things like private islands, places you would never be able to go unless you were cruising. And so we did Perfect Day at CocoCay.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a video on that. And, that was just an amazing experience.
Hey, something that I haven't done this whole video?
What's that?
I haven't changed the camera shot.
Oh, look at that, guys.
I forgot.
Now you get a different angle.
And so I'm usually controlling it. I control it with this thing right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. I control it with that, and I haven't been paying attention. I've been so engaged in the actual video that I haven't been switching.
That's okay.
But yeah, Perfect Day at CocoCay, and we have a video on that. That was the
so
best,
fun.
the best day ever. It was my favorite destination I think that we've ever gone to.
And of course, you're not going to get there unless you take a cruise. And
Right.
then, of course, Disney has a private island, and Norwegian has a private island. And so all these places you could never go unless you were cruising, and even places that you could go if you weren't cruising, you probably wouldn't think to go or, necessarily plan a place there.
Yeah, you're not going to plan a vacation only if you could. You can't, but like to Perfect Day at CocoCay.
Right.
I mean, you're going to go to Mexico or you're going to go to Italy or whatever, but get on that ship and all of a sudden it's like, well, this is where we're going. Hey, looky there. This place is rocking.
It's amazing. And so I love that they have itineraries and they're taking you all these different places. And so, within one cruise, you may go a couple locations, you may go a dozen locations. And it's super cool that they're exposing you to all these things, cities you would never, ever think to visit. So that's a great reason to cruise. And then our number 8, our last one that we have to talk today.
This is about wonderful.
Is that you are treated like royalty. Like, it is amazing to cruise. The customer service is above and beyond anything we've ever experienced.
It's amazing. And we go to Disney a lot. We have, and we always thought that they were the.
There was this stutter in the video. I don't know if it'll show up.
There was?
Yeah, it was like my face was like, I don't know. It was weird. Okay, but go ahead.
What did it look like?
No, it was like, I don't know. Okay, go.
But Disney is like off the charts, phenomenal customer care, amazing. Yes. And then all of a sudden we get on the ship. Royal Caribbean was our first ship, and we're like, wow, should you be treating us this well? I
almost felt guilty because
we didn't pay enough for this cruise to be treated this well.
We were spoiled so much, and the people were so sweet, and it was
amazing.
It's just amazing, and so it's so cool, kind of like to get away and be pampered, and so
because I am never pampered at home. I mean, I guess neither one of us really are.
Probably not, but you're not supposed to say it. That did not earn you points.
Oh, shoot.
In fact, now your points hurt.
They're gone?
Yeah. Not that you care since you don't know what to do with them anyway.
I don't know what to do with them anyway.
But
No. At home, it's like, we're just living life and we don't, I'm not going up to her. I'm not, going to the bedroom and saying, good morning.
Or
How
leaving,
are you
or
doing?
I didn't leave you a towel animal this morning.
You didn't leave me a towel animal.
Yeah.
Or you're gone in the middle of the day and I'm working feverishly to make the bed and to clean up all the linens and everything for your return.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We don't do that.
Right. So
does anybody do that? I don't think so.
So anyway, you can go though on a cruise and be pampered and get refreshed. And so let us know what your favorite reason to cruise is, because you guys may have some ideas or reasons that you love to cruise that we haven't mentioned. So if you have some, let us know in the comments
I bet
below.
you people might mention things like, some of the programs that they have on the ship. Like they have cupcake cooking classes, and we haven't done a whole
lot of that.
That might be a whole nother kind of.
Yeah, there are some people who stay behind instead of, when they pull into ports, instead of getting off, they'll stay behind on the ship when the ship is relatively empty and take a lot of those classes.
Or given a tour, a captain's tour. Wow, there's just so much.
Yeah. So
much.
let us know what your favorite reason to cruise is, and we hope you enjoyed our 8 favorite reasons to cruise. And safe travels, everyone.
Safe cruising. How do I get more points?